Hey there. We're still at day 3, obviously. Hopefully you just chose a really good seed idea. And so here's my seed idea playing the 15th. I need to change that. I just looked it up on my phone. It is actually the 16th hole at Hanson Dam. And there it is. Oh, sorry, close. In all of its glory. There's water there, uphill, and then a dog leg to the left, as I told you. It's a short one. I mean, from the tips, it's only 320 yards. So, I mean, that's pretty long for me. So I don't play the tips. I usually play whites or blues. So it's not that long, but ugh, it was a nightmare. Anyways, let's get to what we came to. Now we're going to develop. And in order to develop, we are going to make a storyboard. So I said you would need some paper. And for this one, we're getting off the computer. I mean, watch this video on the computer, obviously. But then you're going to need a sheet of paper. So this is a sheet of paper I pulled out of a notebook and I had to tear off the top. But that's okay. It's still going to work. Whatever paper you have is going to work, honestly. And it says fold it in half lengthwise. Or it says cut it in half, and you're going to cut this. I just don't have scissors. So I'm going to, essentially what I want is a strip of paper. And so I'm going to do this. I should have gotten scissors. I have some over there, but oh well, I'll use the old fashioned. Wet the fibers of the paper. And then, she tears like butter. I don't know, though butter doesn't tear, so I don't know what that even means. And then essentially what I could do is tape this together if I wanted to make a really long strip, but I don't need to. I can just keep them separate, or use index cards. I have some index cards here, but mine are written on, so that's why I can't use these. But if you have some that are not written on, you could use index cards. What you're essentially going to be doing is drawing and real quickly sketching. I shouldn't say drawing, I should say sketching each scene of your story. This is kind of where you tell your story, but you're going to do it in picture, like sketches. And for this, I really want to show you that book called My Crazy Dog, right? The My Crazy Dog, my narrative essay on Epic. So I accidentally just clicked the wrong page. So I'm going to pull that up and notice what the author has done. Now, these are really nice pictures, obviously. I think the author tried to show you that they're just sketching, and that's why they kind of made them look like that. But there's color because they're making a professional book. We're not going to do that. I've actually started mine as well. I'll see if I can make my picture bigger for just a second. I've started, and mine are just stick figures and, you know, easy stuff. So I actually found some cardboard in my garage as I was sitting here that I thought, hey, instead of, cutting paper, because I like using Sharpie a lot to draw. And I just love that feeling. That is one of my tips to you. Use what's going to make you excited about writing. Last year, I really loved these pens, Papermate Flare. And if we were in school, I would still be using those because those are really good on composition books and things like that. If I were writing on paper, I would use these. I really like those. But lately, I've just really been loving using Sharpies. I don't know why. And so I found cardboard. So it's anything. I have two pieces of cardboard here. I can put them together and make my strips, whatever you're going to do. But what you're drawing is each scene. Now notice this person drew, okay, here's his mom in the kitchen and the dog's knocking stuff over. Okay, let's go back to our slide for a second. Each scene must include characters, a setting, a sentence describing what's happening in the scene, and the sensory details. And so let's look at that. Characters, setting, they're in the kitchen, a sentence describing Clark slipped on the kitchen floor and spilled. That's almost like that state the obvious, right? You're telling exactly what happened. And the sensory details: see, hear, smell, taste, and feel. That's going to make it a lot easier later. Now, you can include dialogue, sound words, tiny actions, and I'll show you that if it comes up, and strong feelings. Not every scene will have these 4 things, but if you can include them, it'll make it better. Okay, so make sure you know your must includes. You can keep the slide open while you're drawing, and then your can includes. And let's go through the different drawings and go scene by scene. So that's why I'm not really even going to do mine for you. I might show you 1 or 2 to show you how quick it is, but because they've already done such a great example. Here's what happened. This is the sentence describing characters. They did include dialogue. They did include sound words. I don't see tiny actions. They have the cat licking its paws, so maybe you would include that as well. And then you have your sensory. Next one. Here's what happened. Then he woke up baby Ruth. They've included dialogue, and they've included some more sound words, which will turn into more dialogue later. And then here are their sensory words, what they're seeing, what they're hearing, what they are smelling. Go to the next one. And look, you can tell they're trying to do quick drawings, even though they look really kind of good, I think, with the color. And you're not going to color yours. Yours is just going to be black and white, but it's quick. Next, Clark ran outside. That's the scene. Notice they've changed settings. One thing you'll notice is you'll know that you have a new scene. That's one thing that writers struggle with is, when do I know I need a new drawing? When am I in a new scene? Usually it's when you've changed settings. That's always a new scene. When you've changed setting, you're always in a new scene. When a new character comes in, that's a new scene. Or even when something major happens, that's a new scene. So that's how you'll know when to do a new drawing. So then they're in a different setting, something major happened, another new setting. That's why this one is a scene. You have the sensory words, you have dialogue, you have the action being described. This is kind of the same scene, right? We're still outside, but something major happened. Knocked down a birdhouse. So that's why same characters, same setting, but something major happened. And that's why we have a new scene and we have the action being described, dialogue, characters, sensory details. So use this book as an example of what your storyboard should look like. So whether you are doing it, let me see if I can make this go big. Oh, it just made it go away. That stinks. Oh no. I was going to show you my things. I might have to pause this for just a second. All right, so hopefully you're hearing me. I'm going to try to get my camera on. I think it's coming back on. Phew, I figured it out. The reason I wanted my camera on, I was hoping to make it go big, but nope, I don't think I can. Is I wanted to be able to show you your strips. So your strips are going to look like this, and you can go even longer and have even more. Theirs are in a book. And so what I've done here, the only thing I actually didn't do on mine, I need to go back and do, is my sensory details. So notice I have my sentence describing the action. I hit a decent drive on the short par 4 16th. I have a sound word, whack. And then I have a picture of kind of what's happened as well. That's my setting. I've gone to a new setting. Notice I was on the tee box. I hit it towards those trees. So my next scene, I'm near those trees. I've included my action. I looked for my ball but it was nowhere to be found. And then I have my dialogue. Where in the world can it be? And I have my feelings. I'm feeling confused here. So I don't know how I'm going to make that come into play. And so now I'm going to draw another one. And notice I haven't set up how many boxes I want yet. It's blank because I don't know how many I'm going to need. I'm just going to draw, and then I'll do a line when I'm done with that scene until I've told my whole story. So I looked for my ball, and then the next thing that I remember happening that I think would be a new scene was a new character comes in. One of my playing partners says, hey, there's one down here in the fairway. So I'm going to be up kind of near those trees. So that's the setting. I'm drawing those trees quickly. I'm still super confused. I'm getting kind of mad. Like, where's my ball? And then a playing partner down in the fairway says, hey, there's one back here, and that's what I think upset me was it was about 80 yards back. And at first I was in disbelief even. Okay, so I've got myself, my playing partner shouted that he found a ball back in the fairway. Okay, so that's how quickly I've drawn it. Is that my, yeah, that's my new one. I have drawn the setting. Here is my sentence describing the action, then my playing partner and his dialogue. And now I'm going to go through and add my sensory. So what am I seeing? I'm seeing my ball 80 yards away. I can hear, this is the only hole on the whole course that has water. And so I can hear, and it has this big fountain, the fountain splashing. I hear my playing partner's voice from far away. I was feeling angry, but that's not really a sense necessarily. Like I wasn't feeling it. I was feeling the steep hill as I walked back down it, right? I had to walk up it first, so I had to walk back down that steep hill. As I walk back down, I didn't taste anything. I didn't smell anything at that time. On a good hole, you might smell the lovely grass. I was in no mood to smell the lovely grass. So that's where I put all of my senses. Here's my description. That's what you're going to do. Let me show you that one more time. Each scene must include characters. Yep, I had me and my playing partner. A setting. Yep, I was up at the trees. My playing partner was back in the fairway. Sentence describing action. Totally. Sensory details. Got it. It can include dialogue. Yeah, I did have dialogue on that one. Sound words. I didn't have any on that one, and that's okay too. Tiny actions. I didn't have any, and that's okay too. Strong feelings. Yeah, at that point I was feeling kind of angry, and my eyebrows were furrowed on my drawing, which is how I tried to show that somewhere over here. It's really hard going backwards. You see me pointing, and I'm like off. It's because it's hard to do on the camera. So that's what you're going to do now. Do it on a sheet of paper. You can do it on cardboard. You could do it on index cards, whatever materials you have nearby. That's what I want you to use. And this is called making a storyboard. You are telling your story from start to finish in picture format, just quick drawings. And that's it for today.